So just how worried were Biden?
China is now responding.
With so much news, it is Liberation Day, as it's coined, Guy, and we got a list of tariffs. So what do we make of it? We saw the market reaction. No surprise, lower in the after hours so far.
No surprise. Now, the day actually sort of made sense to me. Market route, we talked about this sort of yesterday. Personally, I thought there'd be sort of a pullback, not as draconian, not as robust. The market would like that. We would continue to rally. The bond market would sell off. To a certain extent, we saw that during the day. Obviously, a lot of things have been reversed now. So what do you try to make of this? Well, Treasury Secretary Bessent and President Trump have asked for lower rates in terms of 10-year. Announcement like this might get them to lower rates. The question is, at what cost? That 5,500 level in the S&P clearly is going to start to come into play again. But, you know, secretly, I wonder myself, have deals already been in place, despite what they say about we're not going to negotiate, you can't call us, or things in place where a week or so from now, there's countries or at the White House or the Rose Garden that are acquiescing and there's some sort of detente in terms of what's going on. So maybe this is sort of act 2 or 3.
Chat, I'm just curious, what was the stock guy's predictions of the markets? Was he like, oh, they're going to be going up with Donald Trump being elected? Was he a big Trump guy? Was he a big supporter of or was he like, oh no, I'm shorting, Trump is bad?
3 in a 5-act play.
Yeah, I think the debate and
not what's happening today. I mean, what were their predictions when Trump was getting elected?
A lot of folks have been talking about this. Is this?
Do you think the stock market will go back up in the long term? Oh. No, I can't say that I do. And the reason why I say that is the United States of America benefited from tremendous amounts of foreign capital inflows because we had a trade deficit, which means that foreign countries would sell us more goods than we would send them, right? More goods and services would come into our country versus goods and services that would go to other countries. So these countries had hundreds of billions of dollars in cash, in dollars, right? But they don't use dollars in their everyday markets, in their own economy. They use their currency. So those foreign capitalists holding dollars were induced to come to the United States and invest in the American stock market and invest in American assets. That's why you've seen everything that's an asset skyrocketing in price, while commodities and goods and services have largely not skyrocketed in price. The exceptions being education and healthcare, which have. And so there was always this kind of like flow of international capital to the American markets that was propping it up. Right. So if you were an American, all you had to do was buy American stocks. And just from the process of the way the global economy has been designed for so long, your stocks would go up. But that's not how stocks work. Stocks don't just go up because they're stocks. In every other economy in the world, your stock only goes up if if you own a piece of a company that might have a reasonable prospect of returning profit. And the ratio of what your stock market price is versus that profit, that isn't necessarily fixed. You know, there's different multiples, different growth expectations. It's a lot more complicated than that. But at the end of the day, it needed to be connected with a profitable enterprise. And that's what's going to happen with America. And quite frankly, the stock market is incredibly overvalued. The average price earnings multiple, let me see if I can look at this. Average PE of the S&P 500 over time. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, okay, this is really old chart. Come on, is there anybody that does this? Okay, the S&P 500 PE ratio was 26.662. Historically, folks, it's been around 19. It's been, you know, significantly lower than that. So we are And every time you get close to that 30 band, right, you see a big correction.
People don't like
and that's without expecting any earnings contraction. If there is an economy-wide earnings contraction, you're going to see that get even worse. That ratio get even worse. What are your thoughts on Trump and MAGA now starting a war with Iran, Mexico, Canada, and Denmark as reaction to a bad economy? I think the American people would absolutely and utterly reject it. I think Americans do not want to fight a war with Iran for Israel. I don't think Americans want to fight Mexicans or Canadians. Excuse me. Fuck, I can talk. This kind of ridiculous reality. I mean, like, look at this dump. Holy shit.
Do we have that sound, Bill?
Yeah.
So Gary Friedman's on the call and apparently is notified in the middle of the call that his stock was down 25%. Yeah. Take a listen.
In this race, and I don't know where's our stock now? I mean, I guess the stock went down, based on some of the numbers we reported, and then it got killed because of oh, really? Oh, okay. I just looked at the screen. I hadn't looked at it. It got hit when I think the tariffs came out, and everybody can see in our 10K where we're sourcing from, so it's not a secret, and we're not trying to disguise it by putting everything in an Asia bucket, so you can kind of figure it out and do the math. I think the people really that I feel worse for right now.
The problem is you think the people's opinion still matters. Like, I'm not in America, but it feels like your military people are brain broken to shit. See, the thing is, I'm a bit older than all of you. And I know what happened in the Iraq war and the Afghanistan war. We all hate Bush now, but the reality is that when the United States launched the wars against Iraq and launched the wars against Afghanistan, the American people were overwhelmingly positive. By the way, chat, did anybody short Tesla? Has anybody been shorting Tesla? Remember yesterday I was like, listen, don't trade on this shit, but I would sell. I should have sold. And the thing is, I didn't do it. I don't know what it is. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's I just hate. I have like trauma, or I have like some sort of like hatred of stonks and a hatred of the markets, where I know where it's got to go and I should have shorted. But I just don't want to be. I don't want to give my money to these fucking stockbrokers, man. I hate them. I hate these fucking scumbags. And I don't trust them. And executive dysfunction. Although I did open a bunch of accounts. I did open some retirement accounts and some, health savings accounts and things like that. Like, I'm not completely executive dysfunction. I just hate these scumbags so fucking much. The Robinhood stock dropped 42% in one day. Holy shit. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down almost 1,500 points, babies. Tesla is down 5%, which is actually not too bad. Nvidia and Tesla are eating shit, but not too bad. Only down 5%. So they're not as bad as they're down just a little bit more than the market as a whole. But
all the manufacturers in China, or people who are invested there, like that, move manufacturing, move their lives.
Well, to your initial point.
Yeah. I mean, now he does talk about something that is kind of.
Oh, that was Restoration Hardware? Chatters, why are you giving me the wrong stock ticker? Why are you giving me the wrong stock ticker? Was that the Restoration Hardware CEO, or was that the Robinhood? Okay, no, it's Restoration Hardware CEO, Gary Friedman. Okay. Thank you. I don't know why I thought it was Robinhood. I'm sorry.
Kind of ironic. And
okay, we're correcting ourselves. We're waking up.
Furniture business knows that the worst thing you could possibly have is inventory.
Okay, anyway, what was I saying about the war? The idea that we're just going to launch an attack on Canada and Americans are going to rally around the flag is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard in my life. There will be soldiers on the streets fighting against that. People do not want to hurt Canadians. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I know we're all in this doomer bullshit, like, spiral of like, everything's terrible and I'm so powerless. Shut the fuck up. No, you're not. If they try to take us to war with these countries, we're going to be on the streets. And guess what? We're going to do a fucking rebellion in this country. Like, they're not going to get away with this. Can you get a Dow ticker cube on the street?
What? Last night,
is there any live coverage of this?
He said, listen, we happen to have a huge amount of inventory. Now, there are a lot of people who say, listen, he bought back a lot of stock with debt, so therefore he's, quote, in trouble. I don't know.
Right. Do I buy my Nike sneakers now because they're emptying out inventory before the price goes up?
No, you buy them at TJX. That's my point.
What about my
3 months from now, you buy them at TJX.
Do I buy an iPhone right now before the price goes? Yes.
Well,
yes,
you do that. You buy an iPhone. Yes. And you buy a car. You buy a car because the price
buy a car
really,
now.
Yeah,
because Q1 auto sales were like at a multi-year high. We're running almost 18 million annual.
March was the high until we see April. And April's going to be probably the biggest month.
And then we're just going to go.
And then May is going to be a huge month. And then in June, go buy yourself a car and you're a bozo.
Can you imagine buying stocks yesterday?
So there won't be any incentives. Yeah. Supply will also be a factor because people are trying to figure out where to actually distribute the vehicles to actually have lower tariffs. But what people don't understand is based on the parts of every single car. So even Tesla and Rivian, who actually make all their vehicles here in the United States, will still have tariffs on the imported parts. Tesla has imported parts coming in from China. They have gone to the U.S. Trade Administration, to ask for an exclusion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, do you anticipate any of those
Restoration Hardware has $2.2 billion in debt from stock buybacks. 42% drop has to be paid for. How do you see what I mean, chat? Destiny argued with me about stock buybacks not being harmful to a company, and I talked about that exact scenario, and he was like, "That's not real," because he's dumb as fuck. I do find Destiny fascinating in the sense that he's dumb and he's wrong about literally everything, and he still has people that watch him. I don't really understand their brains. I guess it's because I'm too political. I'm not really a lolcow guy. So I don't really understand the attraction that people have for him. I don't really understand the like, oh, I want to watch this guy, abusing 19-year-old girls, and being bad at, being like mediocre at League of Legends, like and being stupid about every fucking political point he's ever made. Like, I don't really get it.
Exclusions, any negotiations moving forward?
Yes, there's negotiations all happening in the background. And that's
like a week ago, most of the online comments of most socials here in the EU were Trump is so dumb for these tariffs, he doesn't know shit. But after the most recent tariffs announcement, here seems to be a shift with a lot of idiots posing he is right and this is reciprocal tariffs. I think the propaganda is what? The stock markets are
frightening
crashing.
Part of this during the negotiations is some of the OEMs are basically saying
there is one currently in chat praising Destiny for getting away with that. He didn't get away with it.
Actually,
he didn't get away with it. But his brain is the typical. He is the typical like Destiny fan. Like there's no doubt about that.
We're being told that JD Vance is in position. He's ready to be interviewed by our Lawrence Jones. Lawrence.
Musk. Anyway, these
supply the U.S. any vehicles. Now, what happens then?
All right, we're fuck intelligence reporting. We're gonna go with Bloomberg. Have you ever watched a Ben Norton video on the street? Probably.
U.S. President Donald Trump has
I think the thing that's really important to understand about the tariffs with Donald Trump is that he's an idiot. He's a fucking idiot. It's not that tariffs don't work, per se. Tariffs are a strategy, right? And when deployed with a comprehensive industrial policy, which includes subsidization of key inputs, of a subsidization of things like infrastructure, of education and training of the workforce, upskilling your population with engineering and other technical skills, developing your, protecting infant industries and investing in moving up the value chain is something that has been accomplished a number of times in history, whether it was in China, whether it was in South Korea, whether it was in Japan, whether it was in Taiwan. Like, these kind of programs can work, right? It's not that tariffs in and of themselves are always wrong. The problem is that Donald Trump is cutting funding for education. He's cutting funding for infrastructure. He is cutting all the necessary elements of enhancing the U.S. domestic economy. He's contracting government spending while also raising taxes in the form of tariffs. So he's slowing down the economy of the United States while at the same time enacting ruinous tariffs all over the economy in a slapdash, and here's the important part, unpredictable way. So we're going to have a whole bunch of healthy firms suffer severe financial penalties, possible collapse, because they weren't able to anticipate these tariffs. Basically, Donald Trump set this tariff regime up to surprise as many American companies as possible. You think that's going to help them grow? You think these companies are going to grow when they were relying on a foreign source of, say, a part of a complex machine? Say you manufacture helicopters, right? And you have operated under this international trade regime of relatively low tariffs on the parts you import. And then the next day, those parts double in price. Do you think that's going to make your American manufacturing company better off? You were given no opportunity to anticipate. You were given no opportunity to relocate or find new partners or find, or reshore the manufacturing and sourcing of your part. Like, this is literally fucking stupid. Like, there's nothing more to it. He has fucked over America's economy. He has fucked over American manufacturing. He is destroying the economy. He's destroying the country. And I think a lot of people, here's the reality. It's going to take some time for it to trickle down and be felt, right? It's going to take some time for people to understand, oh, we're fucked. Everybody is still in delusional mode right now. Every single one of you are like, I'm going to be okay. You're not going to be okay. I'm actually worried about my bank failing. I'm thinking about making sure that, my money is, most of my money is in an FDIC insured account because I'm worried about banks failing. If you want me to be honest, like, we are Wile E. Coyote right now. Mike, the tariffs of the White House itself are not even tariffs from other countries. They're simply trade deficit. No, they set the rate of the tariffs based off of dumb shit data they don't even understand. They're dumb as fuck. They're stupid. As Truadon says, keep all your dollars in money. Crypto people absolutely fucking love getting ripped off and losing their life savings every month and a half. They are literally all lying, dude. But all you have to do is trick a crypto investor to just lie outrageously and move to an island, and he will give you every cent in his bank account. It's literally impossible to fail in the crypto space. I mean, how's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin crash? Is the Bitcoin crash? Okay, the Bitcoin isn't doing too bad.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, Bloomberg Television, and the Bloomberg Business app. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Bitcoin isn't down too much. It's only down 4%.
Business Flash. Bad reaction all around, but the Russell 2000 kind of shows the worst of it right now. The index is smaller. Domestic companies, more domestic companies now in a bear.
Go on my best friend Barry Spelden's podcast. I would love to go on there, but
6%.
I'm a cringe guy, on a supporter of AOC. Do we know if the 25% on Canada and Mexico are still on? Who fucking knows?
That's a decline of 3.6%. The NASDAQ 100, 4.5% lower, down 882 points.
This is the first time in my life where a president just caused a recession for no reason. This is the first time in my life where a president was just like, we're going to have a recession right now.
It has fallen 2%, over 2%, and the 2-year yield is the lowest since
People are like,
has dipped,
presidents don't
right
cause
now,
recessions. And
10
Donald Trump was like, are you
basis
ready?
points. So again, only the 5th time when that has happened. The ISM Employment Index dipping to its lowest.
So people are buying treasury bonds, chat. This is what this means.
Across the board there, but
short-term treasury bonds are up more, or the rates have been suppressed the most, meaning this is a recession indicator.
This round of tariffs may bring the worst of both worlds.
The part which is probably most concerning for investors is the announcement yesterday is very stagflationary. And we know from looking at previous regimes,
Chat, I told you stagflation. I told you stagflation. Again, another Mike was right moment. Again, where do you get better analysis on politics? The economy. I told you all of this was going to happen. I literally said this. I've been saying for the better part of a year about how Tesla's bubble has been insane. I have been calling this shit the VIX. Is the VIX at 30 yet? For me, this is the indicator. I don't think that any one indicator will tell you what the economy is going to do. But when the VIX hits 30, that tends to indicate a recession is going to happen for sure. Or like, you know, there's a serious problem. This is the COVID crash. It got to 53. Then there's the 2008 recession, the Great Recession. You see that 30 number is a very, very bad sign. It rarely breaches 30. And we are at 2765, baby. And as far as there's this very funny fear gauge. I think it's at CNN. We're at extreme fear. Market momentum. Stock price strength. Stock price breadth. Put and call options. People are buying puts. Market volatility. Extreme fear. Safe haven demand. Extreme fear. Junk bond demand. Extreme fear. Every single measurement of the economy is now in extreme fear. When does it become a recession? When there are 2 quarters of negative GDP growth is the official definition of recession. We are now at 11. So everybody's panicking.
Continue to follow the breaking news this morning, the reaction to the president's tariff announcement. Global stock markets falling and the world's biggest economies vowing retaliation. This in response to President Trump announcing an across-the-board tariff of 10% on all imports coming into the United States starting this weekend. And for some 60 countries, the rate is even higher. Futures have been down sharply this morning. You take a look at it right there ahead of the opening bell coming next hour. The NASDAQ down just shy of 4% at this point. China, hardest hit by the tariffs.
Should I pull money out of my bank? Also, I'm getting into an apartment. How fucked am I? I've been waiting for this moment, chat. I've been waiting for this moment.
Responded overnight to the tariffs, saying that it will, quote, safeguard its own rights and interests. The European Union saying that it's preparing countermeasures. The European Commission president saying this: if you take on one of us, you take on all of us. Joining us right now is White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Caroline, thank you very much for your time.
They're actually turning the Europeans. And here's the thing about American politics, which is an open secret. The Europeans are born servants to the Americans. Since 1945, every European leader, with very few exceptions, most of whom get a shot if they are an exception, live on their knees in front of America. They are our servants, our sycophants, our peasants, cucked is the cap with a capital C. Euro cucks. Euro pores. If the Europeans are standing up to you, if the Europeans are breaking out of their cuck mentality, you know the president is a fucking loser. I mean, the only thing you have to do is exist, and the Europeans will be on their hands and knees kissing your feet. To piss off the Europeans is a world historic failure. That is funny. That is hilarious. The generations of European leaders have been like, America is the leader of the free world. And they're punting that.
This morning, there's been a lot of reaction overnight since the announcement and since we all basically were asleep.
I went to Chase Bank this morning. They would not let me take out any money. Go to your bank now and take it out quick. Destiny's Butler is replying to him. Meanwhile, in China, they're welcoming iShow Speed on gigantic banners. iShow Speed, American diplomat. Did you guys see? Oh, I have another iShow Speed thing I wanted to show you.
Tonight, the Maryland.
Hassan is so jealous of iShow Speed.
China is crazy, yo. Look at this city. And a low key in the future, bro.
Hey, remember? Hey, chat, remember last week that Hassan was like, Mike's a bigger China glazer than me? Oh, is that right? You're goddamn right I am, Hassan. Somebody get that clip. Somebody hit that fucking clip.
Got it.
Now he's trying to be like, I always like China.
Low key in the future.
Is China in the future or is everywhere else just in the past?
Damn! Is China in the future or is everywhere else in the past? Damn! I love Speed, and I'm so glad that he turned out the way that he did, as opposed to the much different way, the much different attitude that he could have demonstrated. I'm so jealous still, though.
Can someone explain to me why your YouTube caption settings suddenly change? Like, I would never change my captions to look like this. And then they just suddenly change for no fucking reason. Who likes captions like this? Is CIA in my fucking YouTube account like watching videos and changing the captions because they're fucking boomers? Like, what is going on here? Who wants background, like, who wants that? Okay, that I want at 75. Window, who wants the window to be opaque? Who wants that? That's fucking stupid.
I'm very happy for him, but I'm also
Oh, there are keys that you could press to adjust them, even accidentally. C, O, and W. Oh, maybe that's what happened. I tried to type something and I was in the wrong window. Okay, that makes sense.
Incredibly jealous. Okay, his China trip is literally like it's something that I dream of. And I wake up in cold sweats knowing that I have to.
Oh, thank you for posting this. There he is, caught.
Yeah, Mike from Pennsylvania, more like Mike from Beijing.
That's right, bitch.
Yeah, Mike from Pennsylvania, more like Mike from Beijing.
Oh, now suddenly you're the biggest China glazer. Now suddenly you are the China glazer. Now you're jealous of Speed.
live in reality where I have not done it. You will never get it. You will never experience it, and you don't deserve it. Okay, Top G. What's stopping you from doing a China trip? Work, man, work. Look at this. It's difficult to arrange. I like how everybody goes, oh man, why don't you just hop on and go there? Speed does not stream every single day. Okay. When he travels, he does, but there's plenty of background and plenty of work that takes place off camera. He also has to make content. He has to do this kind of stuff and not consistently cover the news. You say this like you weren't streaming in Japan. No, I will. I will eventually do that. I'm working on it. I promise you, I'm working on it. Okay.
I'm just worried that they're going to make it illegal. And the other thing is, like, I got to be honest with you, chat. I don't. Right now, the Border Patrol are basically being given Gestapo powers. You know, the ICE agents at Border Patrol are basically the American Gestapo. I'm not eager to go pass through borders right now. Especially as a prominent, you know, pro-Palestinian person. Now, I'm a white guy. You know, I doubt that I'm on the target list at this point. But when you are a pro-Palestinian content creator, you're on the radar of these people. And they're looking for any excuse. And the reality is that all of us, you know, we live in an environment where they'll find some pretext. Or if they can't find anything, they'll just plant it on you. So that's why I'm not too eager to go through. I don't believe that these systems can be trusted at this point. And I'm kind of operating as if we're already in a police state and a fascist state. And I'm not trying to have any encounters with law enforcement that I don't need. So, like, that's kind of where I'm at, man. You know, maybe that's paranoid. I don't know. But that's where I'm at mentally right now. And, like, the other thing is, you know, we're going to get to this event. We're going to get to this in a bit. But apparently the H3 podcast did, like, a massive stalkerish rant on me for, like, an hour. Because I ratioed AB, because AB got trolled by a Destiny clipper, a stalker account that clips Destiny. AB got baited into attacking me, right? And I replied to him, and he got ratioed by my reply. And then then I asked him why he doesn't have anything to say to his boss, who is like a supporter of genocide. So apparently it caused him to have like a meltdown. I mean, that wasn't ever my goal, but apparently it really hurt. And then he was like, I can't believe a white guy pretends to care more about the Middle East than I do. And it's like, he did this weird id pull shit where it's like a white man is telling a Lebanese man that he cares more. And it's like, I'm not using my whiteness as a reason that you should believe me, man. I just do care more than you. I do care more than you. And you are supporting a genocidal content creator. You guys do work for a pro-genocide content creator who's going out of his way trying to attack the most prominent pro-Palestinian people in this live streaming space. That's the space you occupy, man. That's your job. You're a live streamer. That's just what your work is. Your work now is attacking the most prominent pro-Palestinian live streamers. That's it. That's you. That's not me. And by the way, does anybody fall for this racist bullshit? This lib id pull? Oh, you can't believe him. He's a white man. Why does he care about Gazans? Like, what? Why does he care about Palestine? I don't give a shit what race I am. I'm going to be standing up against genocide. I don't have to be Jewish to care about the Holocaust. I don't have to be Armenian to care about the Armenian genocide. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like the idea that you need to be some sort of, you have to be a Tutsi to care about the Rwandan genocide, guys. Like, what kind of disgusting fucking world do you live in where white people are just not allowed to care or not supposed to care if any member of a minority group disagrees with me? If Candace Owens disagrees with me about anti-Semitism, where I am opposed to anti-Semitism and she's anti-Semitic, I'm supposed to listen to her because she's a black woman? Like, what are you talking about, man? It's pure slop. It's pure and by the way, it's just pathetic. We're gonna get into it more. I just wanted to say that. Like, goddamn, dude, you are a sad loser, man. They doxed Bada Panada on their show. They said his full name, which has only been revealed from far-right groups in Argentina illegally accessing government systems to find it. Bada Panada has been posting about it on IG. Oh my lord. What a loser, dude. Bad faith people like AB just do this shit on people who don't know enough to answer back. So disgusting. The idea that you think Mike's white is gonna shut me up is hilarious. It's actually hilarious. First of all, you don't know my racial background. What, do you have a 23andMe? Do you have a 23andMe? Do you know my full racial background? Do you know everyone I'm related to? Do you know my brothers-in-laws and sisters-in-law? Do you know my family tree? Like, what are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about, AB? Like, what do you mean? Mike, yes, you have friends that died in Gaza, but you are not white. You are not Gazan yourself, so you're not allowed to be mad about it. What the fuck are you talking about, Beverly Hills guy?
No, I never been to a
Anti-white racism is real. No, it's just I think it's that's idpol. That is rad lib idpol. You shouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders. He's a white man. Vote for Hillary Clinton. Like, does anyone fall for this shit?
Where they have like stuff like this.
I see the jealousy in your eyes. I'm envious. I am. He's living my dream. But also, it couldn't have happened to a better person. You know what I mean? He is the perfect vessel to deliver this message to an audience. He's apolitical. He doesn't read as a political person. It's just great. It's wonderful. I go there, I get an endless sea of attacks being like, oh, he's doing promotional propaganda for China. Chi-coms are paying him, that kind of thing. But because iShowSpeed is so popular and so outside of the sphere of politics that he gets to show it. He gets to show China in this unfiltered lens in ways that people can consume and appreciate. iShowSpeed went 100 meters underground in China only to end up on top of a skyscraper. How the did y'all even make this? B was shocked. The stream really shows how underdeveloped the West looks compared to China.
This is the ground floor, right? Right. Turn around. Take a look. What the fuck? And chat, y'all know a funny story, and I'm not even capping. Every city in China looks exactly like this. Every city.
This is Chongqing 30 years ago versus today. Americans couldn't understand. Dude, 30 years, dude.
Look at that. We can't build any housing in America. We can't build any housing, guys, in LA. Bonk. No, Jude, you need to make sure that your landlord gets to charge you $6,000 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. That's the only way you could do it. You have to do that for decades before they can build one apartment building.
Dude, 30 years, dude. Come on.
Notice they have trades. Notice they have infrastructure. Notice they can build. Oh, they're muting to avoid getting clapped with DMCA.
The saddest part about this is that with the exception of like some major American metropolitans, you could literally do this in reverse with most American areas of industry. If you did a 30-year snapshot of like Gary, Indiana or Detroit, you would see the reverse effect of this. I wonder what happened. The major
What, a friend of the show, Victor Berger, did a pilot. Let me see if I can find this. Victor Berger pilot of Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Now, this show didn't get picked up.
Go ahead. Ask the.
What are the walls going to be made out of?
So cute. I'll tell you what it's going to be made of. It's going to be made of hardened concrete, and it's going to be made out of rebar and steel. Concrete, rebar, steel. Going to put a lot of workers, a lot of steel workers back to work. We're going to bring our jobs back to our country. That includes the steel workers.
It's got to be made in America. We want American steel made in America.
2.6 pennies worth of steel in the can of Campbell's soup.
We're going to put American steel and aluminum back into the spine of this nation.
We're going to be instituting tariffs.
We're not looking for a trade war.
If somebody imposes a trade war on us, we'll fight to the end.
If we don't do this right, we're going to invite retaliation, raise prices on consumers and manufacturers.
You're dead.
Pierogi! Pennsylvania War.
What the hell is going on?
Everyone's talking about steel. Steel, is it coming back? According to Mr. Trump, it is. That's why this week we'll be headed to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, a town that would be...
I
don't know how to get them out without making more of a scene.
I know.
Can I move this so I can close it? Yeah.
Nick is a red diaper baby. He's literally named after the first socialist congressman. Like that. Imagine being that much of a red diaper baby that your parents name you after the first socialist congressman. Like that is a red diaper baby.
Come on, Sadie. Come on, Sadie. Sadie, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Go. Go. Come here. Oh, my God. Okay.
Like, come on!
You guys going upstairs?
Trying.
Okay. There's only so much a guy can learn about steel sitting in front of a computer. Not sure I can trust what I see on TV either.
You can yell all you want. You know, he's going to put up barriers of steel, about steel.
People here at the steel plants believe they now have a business-friendly president who's got their backs.
It's all fake news.
Guess the only real way to learn anything is to get out there and talk to people affected by it. Hey, steel's coming back. You guys want to talk about it? So I went to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, once home of Bethlehem Steel. For 140 years, this corporate giant supplied steel for the Empire State Building, the Hoover Dam, the Golden Gate Bridge, and all sorts of other things, and employed up to 30,000 members of the community at once. But in 1998, the plant closed down.
During Bill Clinton.
You're fired. The bankrupt company was bought and then dismantled by Mr. Wilbur Ross, who now works as Mr. T's Secretary of Commerce. The factory grounds were completely abandoned until 2009. In went the Sands Casino, hotel, and restaurants, sitting amid the rusted ruins of the once mighty Bethlehem Steel. If steel's coming back,
This is real. The steel mill that built the Empire State Building and the Golden Gate Bridge is now a casino in the middle of the ruins of American industrial might. It's almost too perfect. It's almost too perfect. We no longer do it. Everything America does is now a casino or a scam. We can't build anything. We don't produce anything. It's actually insane.
What's going to happen around here? Wonder if I can get to the bottom of it. Maybe I'll even meet a real-life steelworker.
And when Bethlehem Steel failed, they just left the industrial ruin. So I want you to imagine a steel mill site from 100 years ago, continuously operated until 1998. The amount of environmental contaminants, pollution, refuse, waste, and it's just abandoned completely in the middle of the third, like, you know, one of the largest cities in Pennsylvania. Not that it's that big, but like this is what Pennsylvania is like. This is why Pennsylvania voted for Trump twice. By the way, Bethlehem was founded in like when was Bethlehem founded? It's like 1650 or something. Okay, 1741. But that's the first Moravian settlers were there earlier than that. I think that's when they officially named the town.
I found out that Bethlehem has a university in town. You know, I figure what better place to learn about steel than a university, sitting down with a professor who's an expert on things. I bet he'll know when these steel jobs are
in 1741, but it was founded
coming
earlier
back.
than
Those
that.
jobs aren't coming back.
Mr. T says we're going to make America great again.
You don't need people to make steel. It's all automatic.
Why would he say that, though?
He says things that people want to hear.
I will give you everything.
Soon after they shut down the plant, they dreamed up this idea of rebuilding the whole site. People come in from New York, and they go to the casino, they go to Emerald's restaurants, I guess.
Emerald has restaurants here?
He's been building restaurants for the Sands.
Have you spoken with him at all?
No.
Now, Lehigh University, which is the university in Bethlehem, their mascot is the Boilermakers, right? Because it was an engineering college. Like, you can literally see that the United States is just a rotting corpse. And we're living in the bones. And we imagine ourselves the giant. By the way, Lehigh is a really good school. It's a really good school. It's not like, by the way, what's tuition at Lehigh now? $62,000 a year. Amazing. Why is America failing, chat?
Major difference here is not like America was not unimaginably wealthy or grew its wealth in the past 30 years. They did.
Is $65,000 a year low or high for undergrad? I'm in shock. I'm in shock.
Growing their wealth. America just kept growing its wealth.
Consider they may not be American. What country in the world charges $300,000 for an undergrad degree? What country in the world charges $300,000 for an undergraduate degree? What country in the world charges $300,000 for an undergraduate degree?